Okay, so my first recording. Um, and my thing is this. Okay, when it comes to Mr. Research, okay, the problem with him is that you can't, and this is my issue, when it comes to like the black community, right, and Title IX, okay, you can't, it's like this guy is always shocked that the black community, or he's shocked when the white man and the white women work together, and I'm not. Do you know what I mean? I'm not shocked by that at all. In fact, that's what I expect to happen. And I don't really understand, I don't understand why he's shocked by it. You know what I mean? It does it because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. You know what I mean? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me because and it's not just Mr. Research. It's also BGS. It's also nameless protagonist. It's also a lot of these left wing manosphere niggas. Okay, and I think that's gonna be my next video. Um, I'm gonna talk about the like I'm gonna talk about the left wing manosphere guys. Okay, that's probably gonna be my next video. Okay, but my thing is this. Okay, it's it's this concept, all right, that goes on where they it, it bothers them that okay the you know what I mean the white women, when she gets her Title IX, rights and stuff, she goes and she works with the her and the white man, they work together in the workplace, or in venues like the NBA and stuff like that. Okay, they talk about the situation with the brother that was the coach. The hold on, hold on. Okay, so they're talking about the brother that was the coach. Okay, who was coaching the NBA team, and he cheated with this white woman that was also working for the team. But then he got fired, but she did it. And they're like, well, the white man, he should be going up against, you know, what this white woman did, and then he was like, well, that's why I don't trust white men that say that they're anti-feminist because they do stuff like that. And see, here's the thing: there's there's nothing you can do that's going to stop the white man necessarily and the white woman from working together like that. They're going to keep doing that because it's to their benefit to do it. It is. It's to their benefit. And these niggas don't understand it. I mean, I'm 31 years old at this point, and I understand that. But these guys are way BGS and Mr. Research. These guys are way older than me. They're fucking 48 and 55 and 60 and shit, and they still don't understand that. I mean, haven't y'all niggas been alive long enough? Because the way I look at it, I feel like they should have been alive long enough to see this stuff and to be able to recognize this stuff. And you know what I mean? And they they seem to they don't seem to be able to do it. Let me get my timer here. Uh, you know what I mean? They don't seem to be able to do that. It doesn't seem to register with them. Because, see, Mr. Research, he'll sit there and day after day. He used to have a much more successful channel before he talked about politics back in the day. But for whatever reason, in this day and age, he only wants to talk about politics and politics only. And he sits there and talks that politics stuff day after day after day after day after day. And he can't realize that these people are working together, that the white man and the white women are actually working together. You know what I mean? He can't see that. He can't recognize that. And the shit is weird to me. Because this dude, he'll sit up there and talk about me, and he calls me his enemy and his nemesis and stuff. People don't realize this. Me and Mr. Research used to be cool with each other. Like 2, 3 years ago, we was cool with each other. But see, that was back when he was still a conservative. Like 3 years ago, Mr. Research he was actually like a card carrying conservative. He was what I would call a black conservative at that time. So our ideologies matched up. And then when Trump, I guess he didn't like Trump. So as Trump's presidency progressed from like 2018 to like 2020, he became more and more like vocal and stuff against Trump and stuff. And I think that that's what has turned him more leftist now, to where he only wants to talk about left wing stuff like labor unions and stuff like But then at the same time, he's anti-immigrant. Okay, but yet his smoke is not for like the white legislators and stuff that bring the immigrants in. His smoke is for other black people. It's for the black immigrants themselves, and it's for other black people like me who disagree with him. Like that's who his smoke is for. You know what I mean? It's not for you know what I mean. His smoke is not for you know it's not for the so-called white folks who he claimed he got the issue and the problem with. It's not for them. It's for other black people. He got a big problem with other black people. Okay, and that's what I have seen with him over the years. He used to he used to say that he was a conservative in the '80s when Easy E went into the White House in the '80s to talk to Ronald Reagan. And he said he was a supporter of George H.W. Bush. Now all he does is talk shit about Ronald Reagan. But you became a conservative when Ronald Reagan was in the White House. But now you want to sit up here. Your thing is to talk shit about Ronald Reagan every single day. You talking shit about Ronald Reagan. You know what I mean? Every single day, this dude is talking about Ronald Reagan and the Ronald Reagan laws, and he portrays Jimmy Carter as like this hero. But Jimmy Carter had a lot of issues. He blames the union busting and stuff on Reagan, but it was Carter that was busting up unions. Carter busted up the UAW. Okay, his environmental policies caused a lot of the outsourcing of industrial jobs and stuff. So you don't have as many industrial manufacturing in America anymore, and they're trying to bring it back. Okay, do you know what I mean? But he is not talking about that. You know what I mean? He's not talking about those things like at all, period. He completely ignored, because I remember one time that there was some live stream. I believe it was on Raw B's channel. And I went over there and I started exposing him on the Jimmy Carter stuff, and this nigga got he started fumbling his words. He got real quiet, and then Raw B, she ended up having to abort the stream because I was exposing him so bad. This was like some months ago. Like, this is probably last summer, I think. You know what I mean? She had to fucking abort the damn stream. You know what I mean? Because he couldn't articulate a response. You know what I mean? He could not articulate a response. And he puts himself up there like he's this big intellectual and stuff. He's just big. They these guys on here, they all want to act like they're these big intellectuals, and none of them even had graduated college. Mr. Research didn't graduate no college, but he wants to come on here and pretend like he's Dr. T. Hassan Johnson, and he's done all the research and the reading, and he know more, and you need to give him a college definition about what you. There's no difference between a college definition and a definition that you get off Google of a word, because they use the same dictionary. You know what I mean? But he's on here trying to act like, you know what I mean? And I noticed he started doing that real heavy. If it wasn't late 2020, then it was early. It was like 2021. He started talking that nemesis shit real heavy towards me, especially. You know what I mean? He started going at me like super heavy and shit. Yeah. So that's why I don't go over there like that. And another thing, a lot of other niggas abandoned him. What's his name? That other brother used to go over there. King Sigma. King Sigma don't hardly fuck with Mr. Research anymore. Because one day King Sigma's up there and Mr. Research started promoting Marxism. Now King Sigma, he's a very smart brother. He's a very smart young brother. He knows that Marxism shit is bullshit and it's about lies, but Mr. Research was trying to portray it like it was this integral, ideology that black people should follow. And that's how he was trying to portray it. But then I noticed ever since that, you rarely see King Sigma over there. When this nigga be live streaming, you don't even see King Sigma up there. King Sigma, as soon as he started preaching that Marxism shit, King Sigma got the fuck up out of there. That nigga hurried up and got up out of there. You know what I mean? And you ain't seen him since. You seen him very seldom. And he wonders why when he live streams, don't nobody hardly ever go up there. It's like when this nigga live stream, ain't nobody even really trying to fuck with his live streams like that. You know what I mean? Nobody is trying to mess with his live streams like that. And it's number one, it's his delivery. Like, he's not a compelling. It's not. there's a reason people don't be trying to go over there like that. Even Taz used to get on Mr. Research about it. Nobody watches Mr. Research. Nobody's over there. And I'm no Taz fan, but he'd be like, nobody's even over there on Mr. Research's channel or page. You know what I mean? He would be like, nobody watches Mr. Research. And Mr. Research would have no response. You know what I mean? He'd be like, no, nobody watches him. And the reason people don't watch his channel is because his channel is not compelling. He's not a compelling, like, what he does is he complains about issues he has with white folks, but then he blames other black folks, and he talks about like little celebrity gossip and basketball gossip and sports and stuff. And then he talks that labor union stuff. Nobody wants to hear that stuff. Nobody wants to watch like a over the hill 45-year-old dude still talking about celebrities when he's like an ex, like, washed up, like, singer or whatever himself. You know what I mean? He's supposed to be like a singer back in the 80s or whatever, and he washed out, and you know what I mean? He just wasn't talented. He just wasn't good at what he did. You know. You know. And but back to the whole Title IX thing is that the Title IX stuff is their argument. And you've heard BGS make this same argument, but I'll focus on Mr. Research for this video. Is his argument is that feminism, came in with Title IX, gave the white woman power, and then like he's surprised, he's mad. Well, the white man doesn't, he makes these laws that give the white women power. It's a white man. It's not really, and see, you can't really talk like that in 2022 because when you do proper historical research, history works on a trajectory. So it's not like that the white man just woke up one day and said, "Oh, I'm gonna go pass these feminist laws." No, there was a whole trajectory going all the way back to the 1800s when that one woman tried to fake voting, or she voted and she wasn't supposed to vote. And then, like, in the 1910s, I think women finally got their right or whatever to vote. You know. But this was going on, you know what I mean, all the way, it started with the first wave feminism in like the 1850s and stuff, and it has gone all the way up to today. So it's a trajectory, and he doesn't talk about that. He just wakes up and say, well, these white men, they did A and they did B and they did C. No, but if you study their historical past the stuff of what they've been doing, it's a trajectory of what they're doing. Okay, what they did, the laws that they passed with Title IX, that was not a standalone thing. That was part of a whole historical trajectory. So if you're gonna criticize it, you have to criticize the whole trajectory of the direction that the country has been drifting on that issue. You have to talk about all of it. You can't just focus on these one group of fucking acute group of politicians in the 70s that passed, LBJ and them that passed Title IX in the late 60s. You can't just do that. You know what I mean? And so he says that, well, white politicians pass laws that hurt their sons. and they pass laws to protect their daughters, but then they these same laws hurt their sons. But you need to understand that the, the white men and the white women are in proximity to each other to where they're working together. So that white male politician goes home and his white wife is in his ear, his white daughter is in his ear, his white mom is in his ear, his white nieces and stuff are in his ear to influence him on that legislation. And you need to take that into account. See, white folks and stuff, they influence and communicate with each other. They don't try to shut each other off and cut each other off from each other like we do in the black community, where the men and the women are live separately, and the women can have more than one man, and she don't like what one man is talking about, she can move to the next county or the next state over and take her kids and go live with another man and drop the kids off at the auntie's house. The white community don't function that way. White people sit down at the dinner table and they strategize and they talk with one another, and they don't avoid each other. They actually communicate and coordinate with each other, like a lot of black people don't. A lot of black people can't wait to get the fuck away from each other. But that's something that we're gonna have to talk about in another video. Okay, and I believe that is the aspect that the Mr. Researchers of the world and people like that, they don't take into account. They don't take that into account. You know what I mean? They don't take that into account. What he's looking at is that he's a black man with male interest, and the white man is supposed to come along and vote with him as a black man on his male interest, and it don't work like that. That has not been the trajectory in America. That has not worked in America. It has not worked because it's like every time the white woman gets a little bit more power, the white man benefits from that too. Because some of that power, some of that money that the white woman get is going to that white man as well. And they're in each other's ear. The white man is in the white woman's ear, and he can influence her on things. And then the black man, I mean the white woman is in his ear. And that is the thing. Like Mr. Research, he does not understand that. He does not understand that concept. Okay. And he keeps talking about, black boys. Okay, black boys, black boys, black boys. I get it. I understand. I have passion for black boys and stuff too. And issues and stuff that go on with black boys and stuff too. But the thing is, you know, if you're gonna do anything with these kids, it's gonna have to start on the grassroots level. He wants like some sort of federal thing, and I don't think it's gonna happen on the federal level. It needs to start on the grassroots level. It needs to start on the community level, the county level, especially the county level. Because I'll be doing some research on that. Because I know a lot of that, like the non-co-ed education stuff, a lot of that is being proposed like on the county level. Okay, and he needs to start at that level. What he does is he wants to get on YouTube and he immediately wants to start talking about the Senate and the Congress and the executive branch, and you can't do that, bro. Okay, the thing is, the Senate and the Congress, they react to what's actually going on in the local levels. Laws start on the state level before they become federal. They don't start on the federal level. Okay, so if you want to get something going on that angle, it's going to have to start local grassroots. And you can't just sit up and blame the women. Okay, because he does that a lot. He sit up there and he talk about these women a lot. He blame these women a lot. Okay. He blame on these damn women and stuff a lot on what these women and stuff are doing. Okay, like he talked about that all boys school that opened in Oakland a few years ago. And he said that the women didn't support it, so it failed. No, it failed due to lack of funds. The community couldn't sustain it. Okay, and then it was like a it was funded by the local school board. So for all we know, the school board, they could have been trying to kill that project for a long time. They might have saw that project as redundant for a long time. And then on top of that, you're in liberal ass, feminist ass California. So of course you're gonna have a lot of problems getting stuff done for boys. Because the feminists and stuff there, they want to control what the boys and stuff do any damn ways. Okay? So that's really what the issue is. All right. But you cannot just sit up there and blame the women because and here's the thing, if he knew how to work with other brothers, if he knew how to go and get the brothers that have resources and that got money and businesses and stuff and got those brothers in a room and say, hey, here's a project we can invest in that can benefit all of us, or at least get those brothers in a room so they can brainstorm some stuff. Even some pastors, even if he could work with some pastors, work with them. But y'all gotta have to get in a room and decide to come up with something. And you need to get some women on your team too. But he can't do that. He has this thing that, well, I don't want to work with the church. I don't like the church. I don't want it. Ain't about if you like the church or not. The church is a viable institution in the black community. Anything you do in the black community, you're gonna have to work with the church some way, somehow. Because black folks are spiritual and religious, whether you like that shit or not. Now, if you're a secular person or whatever, you know, I consider myself a secular person. There's nothing wrong with being a secular person. Okay, if you're a secular person, I like that, you know, and you're a secular person, and you feel how should I say it? You're not big on the religious influence. Sometimes that don't matter. Sometimes you got to push that to the side, and you got to get out there in that community and work with these people, because these people been in the community for years. These people in the church and stuff, they've been involved in the community and stuff for years. You have to work with those. They're the ones who know how to, move and shake and get shit done. They're the ones who know how to get stuff done. That's who you need to work with. But he won't do that. He wants to be by himself. He wants to come on YouTube. And I'm telling you right now, you will never start any of these movements or any of this stuff that he says he wants to get done. You'll never get it done on YouTube. It's not gonna happen. Because YouTube is not set up like that. Number two, Mr. Research, if he really want to build up his YouTube channel, he would have to invest money into getting guests and stuff to come on his channel and come on his platform, and he would have to change his whole setup. He used to get a professional setup, put a nice suit on, get a nice mic, get like an attractive female co-host or something. You're gonna have to get something to get people to watch that damn channel. And he's not doing that. What he wants to do is talk about other black men, talk about these pastors, talk about this, talk about that. And that's really an ongoing theme on YouTube. Like, a lot of people on YouTube don't know how to do a lot of stuff. that they don't know how to get out there and shake hands and kiss babies and exchange money and get stuff done. A lot of them don't know how to do that because they're introverts. They sit behind a computer. They get up and go to work every day, and they think that's an accomplishment. I'm sorry, but getting up and going to work every day is not an accomplishment. Mr. Research thinks that's an accomplishment. He wants to sit up and talk about his job every day. You think getting up and going to work every day is an accomplishment? It's not an accomplishment. It's something that you do, but to sustain yourself, but it's not an accomplishment. It's what you do to sustain yourself. Now, starting a business or something like that, yeah, that's an accomplishment because you put your blood, sweat, and tears into it. It takes a lot of strategy. It takes a lot of risk. Yeah, that's an accomplishment. But just your daily grind, that's not an accomplishment. But then he wants to he is so jealous. I'm gonna just call that out for what it is. He is so jealous of business owners, and I don't understand that. He got all this hatred for business owners and stuff. And that shit is weird to me. You know what I mean? It's weird to me because I'm not like that. I'm not wired that way. So when I see people behave that way, it's weird to me. You know what I mean? It's weird to me because I don't understand it. You know what I mean? I don't understand it. It's weird to me. I don't understand it. And to truth be told, I really don't. And then another thing is when he talks about black boys and stuff, he does it from this ghetto mentality about the black boy standing on the corner with a pistol in one hand and a fucking a bag of crack in the other hand. Like, I didn't grow up like that. I know there's people, most black people don't grow up like that. I know there's people that have unfortunate circumstances and they had to grow up like that. Everybody ain't grow up like that. You know what I mean? Everybody has not grown up like that. You know what I mean? But in his mind, well, this is the black experience, and this is what black boys go through. Yes, black boys go through bullshit, but everybody don't fucking grow up like that, dog. Everybody don't grow up like that. Everybody don't want to hear about that stuff. But when you push this narrative forward, you know, you push that type of narrative forward, and then you end up having the problems that you end up having. You know, so it is what it is. You know, okay, now every video, this dude is talking about women or something some white women has done or has gotten away with. And I'm like, as a black man, you're actually better off building something for yourself as a black man than you are talking about Becky. Like, these YouTubers talk about Karen and Becky all day. I don't understand. Like Phil. I still call this. I know it's called African Diaspora News Channel now, but I still know that nigga as Phil Advise Show. I remember when his ass was called Phil Advise Show. And then when he realized, once he started making all those videos about Karen and shit, there's a certain demographic that likes to watch that shit. So he started catering to that demographic, and it just became a money. It became a money maker for him. You know what I mean? it became a money maker for him. You know, and for me, you know, I know he has made a lot of money, and you know what I mean. He's up there and whatnot. Okay, I get it. Okay, just because he's making a lot of money, that doesn't make mean that his argument that is a or his channel is a good channel, because it's not. There's nothing informational at all with that channel. This is like Mr. Research. His whole channel is it's not really informational. It's about this is who you point the finger to. This is who you get mad at. This is who you attack. This is who And where does that leave the black male who's watching the video? How does that help them? Or the black boy? It doesn't really help them. It just tells them who they should be mad at, but it doesn't give them a key to move forward. See, this channel is about giving black men and black boys keys and stuff so that they can move forward and empower themselves. I'm going to talk a lot about business on this channel. I'm going to talk a lot about a lot of stuff on this channel that's designed to help move the black mindset and stuff further. Because you sitting up talking about what these white folks are doing all day, that's not going to move you forward. That will make you fail. That shit will make you fail. You know. You know what I mean? It will make you fail because you spending all your time looking at them, and you don't spend any time at all doing what you fucking supposed to be doing. Things to advance yourself. Not doing spending any time on that, but all your time on this other stuff. You know. And that's what my problem is. You got too many black people, especially nowadays, on YouTube, okay? And they make a lot of videos talking about things other people are doing and what's going on with other people and stuff that's completely outside of their damn control. But that's what they choose to make videos about. And Mr. Research is no different. It's like, what do you want white guys to do? Do you want them to just like, what is his goal? Is he gonna try to get white men to like disassociate from white women completely? Because I can tell you right now, that's not gonna happen. I mean, it's not gonna happen. And he tries to, he tries to portray it like, well, that's what we need to do. That's what's gonna happen. Like, well, that's what women did, and women did not do that. Okay, stop pretending that the women and the black women, they don't work together. They work in tandem on occasion, but they don't work together. The white men and the white women work together. The black women and the white women work in tandem, meaning one person's marching a certain step, the other one's marching something similar, but they are not working together because that white woman is never going to do anything that's going to put the black women ahead of her. It will never ever happen. Which is why every time something happens to a black woman gets abused or beat up or raped or something like that somewhere, you don't hear white women talking about that shit. White girl go missing, they call out the whole Navy to go looking for her for 3 months. A black girl goes missing, they don't even put her on the milk carton. And white women don't say nothing about that. They're real hush hush and quiet about that. But I think as time goes on, I think more and more black women are realizing that now, which is why, you know, to an extent they're realizing it, but only to an extent, you know, only to an extent. Okay, but it's going to have to be a progressive thing that's going to have to move forward going to the future. You know, you know. And that being said, you know, the how should I say it? You know, what I mean, how should I say it? This this question that he has posed, it doesn't have a satisfactory answer for him because there is no mechanism by which you can make the white man and the white woman stop working together. There's no mechanism because they have too much access to each other, and it's too easy for them to work together. That's even with the divorce rate and all this stuff going on, and the suicide rate and all that. Even with all that, it's still easier for them to work together against, you know, other groups than it is for them to. Do you think they would? What you think? You think they're gonna put another group before them? Hell no, they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that. And you can't spend that much time pocket watching them anyways. I don't pocket watch. I don't always look to see, well, this other group is doing this or this other group is doing that. I don't always do that. I got my own shit to worry about. You know what I mean? I got my own stuff to worry about, man. And I just I don't have time to sit up on here talk about what these other people are doing all the time. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. You know. But with him, it's a daily constant thing. It's okay, the white woman. He been talking this white women stuff for the past at least 3 years. I know for a fact because I've been watching him since like 20. I want to say 17, 18. He been doing this white women stuff for the last 3 years. Where has it gotten him? Every time, these manosphere guys, they try to talk slick about the white women and all that kind of stuff. Where does that get them? Because it's not like they have a mechanism to check the white woman's behavior. So if you don't have a mechanism to check the white woman's behavior, why, you know what I mean? Why are you talking about someone who you don't have any power to influence? Wouldn't it be better to just focus on the things that are within your control? Wouldn't that be better? You know what I mean? Wouldn't that be better? And then he says the guys are complaining. Only a certain select few of men on YouTube are actually complaining like that. I don't complain like that. I got shit to do. I got a business to run. I got a business to build up. You don't see me doing that. It's not my thing. You know what I mean? You don't see me doing that. You know what I mean? I don't do that type of stuff. I mean, not only do you not see me doing that, you'll never see me doing that kind of stuff. I just don't have time for it. This is why I think guys like him, like Mr. Research, they're redundant thinkers. When they talk that Title IX stuff, Title IX is over. It's done with. Okay, that ship has sailed. At this point, you might as well just get with this 2022 stuff and use that to move ahead. You need to start talking about Bitcoin. You need to start talking about investing. You need to start talking about generational wealth. Those are the things that will get the black community and black boys and stuff ahead. Is learning how to think financially, how to be smart with their money, start their own LLC, work for themselves, work for each other. That's what will get them ahead. You put too much faith in being in these white folks' spaces. Because I don't do that. I don't put all my faith in being in their spaces and working in their companies and doing this shit. You know what I mean? I don't do all that. You will never see me do that. You know what I mean? You'll never see me do that. It's not my thing. And it never will be. See, Mr. Research makes the argument that it's better for a black man to go work in a white man's company and be up under this white man in this white man's company. It's better to do that than for this black man to start his own company. He he literally preaches that. This is what this dude preaches. He preaches weird shit like that. And to me, that's just straight up weird shit, man. It's just straight up weird shit. You know what I mean? It's weird. Like, why are you that in love and be with being in these white folks' companies and stuff? But then every chance he gets, he's complaining about these very same white folks. Okay, he's complaining about these very same people. Okay, but you're the one fighting to be in their space and their company stuff. You don't want your own company. You don't want your own bank or your own, you want to be in their shit, but you want to be a manager working in their shit. But in that position, you really don't have the power. He's convinced himself that as a manager, he has power in his job. As a manager, there's a lot of things you can do as a manager, but at the end of the day, these people can come in at any moment, and if you are doing something they don't like, they can pull the plug on you, and you're back to square one. Now you got to go look for some other job somewhere else. You back to square one. Because at the end of the day, it's not your company, it's their company. And they're the ones who get to decide, you know what I mean? They're the ones who get to decide, you know, what goes on at that company, including uh, personnel changes and issues. All that is in their hands. You know what I mean? It's not in his hand. It's not in Mr. Researcher's hand. It's in their hands. It's their company. So what do you think is going to happen? You know what I mean? And it is what it is. Okay. You know what I mean? And that's how that goes. So for me, when guys like him, they get on their soapbox and they rant and stuff about their problems and their issues, and you know what I mean. And they want to be on their soapbox. All right, but then they don't look at all the peripheral stuff, like with the feminism stuff. He has looked at it. Feminism is 150, 200 year. It's about 150 to 100, 70-year thing. That's not just one little thing that happened in one decade with a handful of white male politicians. That's 170-year thing that you have to dissect and unpack and deal with. But he doesn't do that because I notice he's not real good with history. He's really not. I mean, he be talking that little fake Hotep, Wikipedia bullshit history about the empire of Nook and why is Africa not one country like China is and all that. I mean, he does that, but he doesn't do real history that it actually pertains to the arguments that he makes. He doesn't do that. And either he won't do it or he can't do it. He just won't do it. You know, but then he wants to come on and pretend like he's Mr. Aficionado, and you know that shit is just annoying to me, quite frankly. It's annoying to me. But anyways, get the likes up. This has been my first video on this channel, the first voyage of the USS Kevin Samuels. Let me know what y'all think. Peace.